And now you're free to go. Yeah. Okay, wow. Never have you been more white in your life. Good stuff. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We never know. Well, there's quite the latency. There you go. Oh well. Hello. I've got the stream open behind the OBS window, and I just saw us start moving. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna stretch us over the thing, so I don't have to look at it, but I can still see the chat. No, it's gone through. It just there's a the amount of time between me pushing things through and it coming up on stream was about 20 seconds maybe, so there's a bit of a, it's fine, it's built in to do that. No, it's fine. Yes, Michael, a dance party with no music, that's the way we roll here. Look, it's just not working. Lily's gone insane. Oh god, how do we do this anymore? Hi, everyone. I guess, welcome to all the films we judged before. I'm Katie, and I guess that's Stephen now? Oh. Hang on a second, apparently you're, So I had you muted the whole time? I thought I'd fixed it, and I hadn't. In fact, I think I may have done the opposite of that and actually muted you when I moved over. Thank you, Michael.
This is so unprofessional. I'm sorry.
I'm really good at this. I'm very good at my job. And should we try again? She's gone.
Well, hello there.
There we go.
I'm Steven, the new host. Yo.
This is, I don't have anything today, apparently. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. How do we do this?
I don't know. Well, could they hear you introducing
They heard
the
me
podcast?
introduce the podcast.
Okay.
We've done the whole thing out of order now, because apparently I'm just really...
Yeah, we need training, Katie. So.
Live things are hard. Right. So, how have you been?
I am ready. I can't do the
You're
accent.
really going for this, aren't you?
I look like a boy, so I'm like...
Michael wants to know what you took.
Nothing.
She was real funny, actually. I took the dogs out for a walk about an hour or so ago, and it's that time of year where like mushrooms and stuff started like coming up.
Oh, wow.
And I saw this proper like mushroom, red little white spots on it and everything. I was like, what kind of mushroom is this exactly? And
That's a poison one.
Here's the thing, I did a little, so Google has a thing called Google Lens where you can like take a picture of something in real life and it'll like search for it on the internet. And as it turns out, hang on, let me see if I have it still like hanging out on my phone somewhere. It's called Amanita muscaria. And apparently, if you eat it, it's not poisonous technically, but it is hallucinogenic.
So did you eat it?
No. I'm not insane, because it then goes on to say you will become intoxicated or possibly just get sick and vomit all over the place.
Yeah, don't eat it. That.
It's like, well, I'm not going to do that, but that's a very interesting thing to find out about. It's just this mushroom just growing in my local park. I love that.
Yeah, it's nice. This is now mushroom podcast.
Yeah, mushroom talk.
Mushroom talk.
Get rid of it. I'm looking at my notifications. That's very unprofessional of me.
A tiny bit, but you just had me muted for like 10 minutes.
It was like 2 minutes, all right? I'm just...
Fine. So today we're gonna talk about movies and stuff because
We haven't spoken properly like this in a while. At least not in this context.
yes,
So, it's... yeah.
so we're gonna catch up on things.
Hence why I said, hey, how are you today?
Gotcha. I'm good. I am not nervous about going to the UK. I mean,
nice.
the traveling part. I am nervous about the stupid ass second day testing, and hopefully it doesn't turn out that I have COVID and I just don't know about it, and I can go to Comic-Con. So now that's my only.
The likelihood is that you're fine.
I sure hope so. I feel fine.
Did they get you to do a PCR test?
No,
When
I
you go?
only have
Is
to.
it just a lateral flow?
It's
you'll be
just
fine.
only the day 2 thingy bingy. So yeah, hopefully all is gonna be good, and if it's all gonna be good, we're gonna be seeing each other for the very first time in person on Saturday.
Horrifying.
That's what you want to hear? Yes.
No, I'm just there was. I can't.
Yes, I'm listening.
It was a joke, but I can't figure out how to. I feel like I should just leave. You do this. I'm just done.
This podcast is going very well today.
Hi, Sean. I'm bottling this apparently. Ginger.
Yes.
Of course,
so-
I'm excited to see you on Saturday. Of course, I am. Don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous.
Of course, I'm excited to see you. It's going to be a very long day. I have to get a train that will probably last about 2 hours in order to get there.
Oh, why wouldn't you come with a car
Because I don't like driving to London.
in London?
Yeah,
okay.
It's much easier to get. Yeah, it's much easier to get the train in and out because then I can just get a. What's it called? This is how my brain is working. No. I mean, ticket-wise, the travel card, and then I can get on all the tubes and stuff that I'll need to get on because I'll just go straight to London Bridge and then all that jazz.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I don't. I've never driven in London, and I'm going to try and keep it that way for as long as possible.
You have to try at one point. Just say it.
The idea of driving in London, just no, thank you. No, thank you. What do you mean? Why? Have you been near any car in London?
Quite a few times, actually. Yes.
That's the point. There's too many of them. Everybody honks their horns consistently, which just drives up the anxiety.
That's not entirely
Do you drive?
true. No.
Well, then you don't know what you're talking about.
I was hit by a car once, so that I think that counts. So
Yeah, but there's a difference between just being hit by traffic, which obviously sucks, but also then there's driving the car and being the person where you're not entirely sure which lane you're meant to be in, and then people start honking at you and then getting really annoyed, and then it's like, oh god. So I don't want to be that person. I only just figured out how to drive in Brighton, so no, thank you.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, we're gonna have tons of fun. We will have other relators coming in as well. Leon as well, who I will also meet at the very first time in person. So it's gonna be.
I stayed in Leon's house for several days.
Don't brag, okay? Don't brag.
It's a very nice house. Beautiful.
I believe you. I am jelly. But it's gonna be nice seeing everyone, and obviously MCM did a great job this year bringing in the guests.
They're also good people. Pricing's questionable.
It is questionable. Although I will say that at this point the only questionable one is Tom.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's questionable.
Yes. Like I if you look at the
everybody else seems fine.
everyone is like 60, 72. I think 85 is the highest for an individual, and then there's some widows for 225 pounds, and I'm like, you guys are fucking nuts. Like, I don't know how many people will buy that, but I have a guess that it's going to be lower than the other guess, especially when you have a price where you get two people, Ben Barnes and Freddie Carter, for 125 or something like that.
No, I think it was 110.
110.
Yeah, I think it's 110 because I got that one.
There you go.
Which would be fun. I don't know how to. The idea. I'm aware that they're doing all the pictures with plexiglass.
Yeah.
In between. I don't know what to do with my arms in these.
You can. My idea, because I got Jonathan Majors, and I think I either gonna do with him the do you want to build a snowman pose from Frozen? Because that's a plexiglass, so it just makes sense. Or because I got it for Sunday, and Sunday I'm gonna be dressed as Andy from the old guard, since I have the hair and everything. I figured I would just, we would just do like an action scene, and I would just pointing my gun at the plexiglass and go, oh, something, just to make it fun, because you can hug them, which sucks.
The thing is, I usually just go for hello, I'll stand next to you and put my arm around you.
Your waist, yeah.
I mean, try to smile and then fail.
I just love hugging them, to be honest. But I love to hug everyone. Hug is a good thing. I already told you that on Saturday.
Lily's just joined our D&D group and made some waves with our characters. She really just doesn't have any idea.
No, she just doesn't know. She's just like, very good. But so
I've always been too awkward to be like, hey, let's do a pose, because I'm just like, there's no confidence to back up doing something like that with me, or it's just sort of like, I don't know, this is weird, I'm awkward, leave me alone. That kind of like vibe.
I think one of the best ones I've ever seen is actually a Ben Barnes photo op, and he played Dorian Gray.
I remember.
And the girl literally brought in like a picture frame and had him hold the picture frame, and she pretended to paint him. And that was like fucking genius. But to imagine that basically these photos, if you haven't been, guys, then a quick heads up, it goes by like this: go, photo.
See,
that's
part of I don't want to hold anybody up. I don't want to be a pain in the ass and be like, hey, here's 1,000 props, that kind of thing. I don't. The idea of it makes me want to cringe into a ball.
I know how you feel, but I kept seeing people going up for Ben or to Jason and so and just showing their phones like, I want to do this and I want to do that, and they were like, oh, okay, and they just did the pose quickly. You don't even have time to realize what you're doing with your face, and you're like, oh, okay. It's weird. It's a weird balance to go by. So this will be my first time actually getting them into some kind of pose, because with the plexiglass you kind of have to.
I'm just, the only thing that comes to mind when I think about it is just like doing the full like doomsday like
oh
so
I mean
sad.
That's good. The other one I was thinking, and I think that's a good one, is doing like a Charlie's Angels pose, like back to the plexiglass.
This is the other question though. It's like, what are they how is it like, do not touch the plexiglass? That's the other questions I have, because it's like, that seems like
that's not clear.
That is not clear, but also
on their end,
it certainly seems like that would be the smart thing to do if this is meant to be a COVID measure. You don't want a bunch of people touching the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we just have to figure it out, because at this time around, I really wanted to meet Freddie and Ben. I will actually meet Ben because I will get an autograph from him for Lauren, who's also one of our friends, and she can't be there for MCM. And during that time, I will also give our book to Ben. So that's going to be exciting, because he's... And yours as well.
It's your book.
And yours as well.
I just help. It's your book.
No, shut up. It's yours as well. My inner Venom is coming out again. But but that guy, yes. But yeah. It's that's gonna be an exciting one because I think they're gonna be behind plexiglasses there as well. At least it would make sense.
It's like if that's the other thing. I have the worst. Like if it's noisy in a place,
Yeah,
I just don't have any. I can't
me
hear
neither.
shit.
Me
So
neither.
if they're behind, like the worst I was at a train station and I had to get on the train before I printed my ticket out.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to print it out before and I had to get that train. Otherwise, it would have been like another hour before the next one came, and I was like, I had to get to work. Um, the, I had to go up to like a booth in the train station. The guy had it was a lovely accent, but it was a very thick accent, and it was behind like this was before COVID, but it was like behind like it was on one of those like booths where they have to talk into the microphone or to talk to you on the other side. So it wasn't very loud. We were in a really loud train station, and he had this like thick accent that I just couldn't. And I was standing there going, I really can't hear you. And he looked so annoyed, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Nah, that's me as well.
I'm like, I'm having to like really go. You need to like speak real slow and loud, please. So if you're behind plexiglass and like you're meant to be still wearing your mask as you go up,
yeah.
I'm not going to be able to hear anything.
I'm afraid of that as well. I'm just gonna be like, "Hello, how are you?"
I'm thinking I've got an autograph with Freddie, and I think I'm just trying to decide which of I think probably my fancy copy of Six of Crows I'll bring with me to get signed.
Oh, nice.
Is probably the smart thing.
Nice. And you're not gonna get one from Ben?
I just haven't bought one. I don't really know what I'd also get him to. It was one of those sort of like it's a lot of money I've already spent, right? And I think I should draw the line there, really. That kind of thing. I also don't know. It's one of those sort of like, what would I say?
You're beautiful.
No, I'm not going. You welcome to. It's not the sort of thing that I would do. Also, Michael, I don't know if it's just because I'm English and I've only ever been to MCN, but I've never actually seen anybody do any weird poses. Or if they have, because Michael's asked favorite funny pose you've seen at a signing. Pose.
At a signing.
At a signing. Well, I think he probably means it, like at the photo.
Yeah.
But I don't. If I have seen them, I've been so up in my head about the fact that I'm about to go and take a picture. I don't remember any of them. It's just not in there.
The first time I met Nadine, one of our listeners, who loves the podcast, we met at MCM, at my first MCM, basically. They were standing behind me for the Troy Baker for all. And they told me that they're going to do a pose where they're going to pretend to throw a bottle at him, like in The Last of Us, all the bottles. And I didn't actually see them because I went in front of them. But I saw the picture afterward and it was genius. It's like, yeah, very good. And that Troy is game in this stuff. So, his facial expression was just priceless. So they did a good job. That was fun.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been going for a little bit now. Do you want to get into what we've been watching?
Oh yeah, this is we are talking about actors and everything, so it works. But of course, yes. So Katie,
hello.
What have you been watching?
All right. What do we want to start with? I'll tell you.
You're doing very great today. It's okay. I'm Steven.
I've just finished watching Ghosts on BBC iPlayer. It's the series that's made by pretty much all the major players in the Horrible Histories series.
Yes.
So it's what's her name? It's a good start. We were already in that place. She was in the last season of Taskmaster, which is why I'm like, I should probably know this. This woman inherits like this massive, like slightly dilapidated, like old country house, like one of those massive English country houses, and she then, as they move in, it's full of ghosts, And they're trying to get him to leave. And it's been a while since I watched the pilot, so I don't remember exactly how it happened. But she basically falls out a window and nearly dies. And then but she's fine. She's like cracks, bruises and all that sort of stuff. But the moment she comes back, she's able to see and converse with all the ghosts in the house, as well as any other ghosts. And I know how dramatic it sounds, but it is a comedy. It's very good. It's a very sweet little show, and it's obviously it's just all the. If you watched Horrible Histories, you understand the vibe. It's very similar to that. And so I just sat down and watched the whole thing because they're only half-hour episodes, and there was 3 series. And it was a nice little palate cleanser, I think. Of so nice. It was just like, oh, this is just a good it's a good time. It's worth a watch. I'd recommend.
Okay. Fair. Okay. Should we do one?
You will do one each. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So I binge watched. What a surprise! You, season 3.
Oh yeah.
And they are completely mental, but like even more so than in the first 2 seasons. I think this might be my favorite season, just like with Sex Education. Like, I don't know what's with season 3s, but lately
sometimes
they've been the best.
I think that season 3 tends to be because season 1 is like where they start and it tends to be pretty good, and then season 2 they'll be like, we have to change things up, and so they'll go in a slightly different direction for season 2, and people will be like, go back to the other thing, and they intend to find like a middle ground for season 3s. Sometimes it just gets worse.
Yeah, that's true. But this one again, it was very twisted. They really fucking went for it. Like some points I was like, oh god, these are psychopaths and idiots, and Jesus Christ.
Aren't they both murderers?
Oh yes, they are. They definitely are. Especially Love, who's played by the amazing. I'm gonna say her name.
I know it's Victoria, but I don't know
Victoria.
What her last name is.
Yeah,
it's something Italian looking.
Yes,
I think.
yeah, Peretti, but something P word. Please look it up. She completely sells the whole psycho. Pedretti, there you go. Psycho girlfriend. Well, not girlfriend, wife. Premise of the whole thing, and she really is great. But that were once again what I really enjoyed were the smaller moments where we got a little bit more of a backstory on why he is the way he is, and there were a lot of things revealed in this season, and they immediately announced that there's going to be a season 4.
I think they did it even before season 3 came out.
Yeah.
They were just like a day before.
Yeah. It's another one is coming, and to be fair, the way it ends, yes, I need another one. Like, I need to know what's going to happen, because now I am invested again, which always happens. But this was the series that I didn't want to watch originally, and I just at one point during the quarantine I just got bored and I just watched it. And now I'm obsessed. It's really
I've heard it's really good. I think it's known at this point. I have a bit of Sarah Gamble has let me down too many times for me to entirely trust.
I think you would like it, but yeah,
I probably
don't
would
watch it.
I'm not against watching it. I just haven't. It's not been like on priority list. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it is fair, but I do recommend it. It's really good, especially this season 3 was like fucking excellent. And I love the new characters. I think they did a really good job with the casting. Actually, one of the guys looks exactly like Michael Fassbender, so I had to look like twice. Like, is that him? No, it's not. By the way, it's not.
There's a guy in season 1 of Jessica Jones. I think it's season 1. Who when I first started watching, he's like I think he's a cop or something, investigating stuff. But he looks like Troy.
Really?
Like it really does. Every time I looked at it, I was like, yeah, God, it's like uncanny. It's that really like proper uncanny valley thing where it's like I know it's not him, but
Yeah.
everyone it'll like kind of cut to him quite quickly, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's not.
Yeah. I know that. I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Because it's like it's one of those things where it's like every time I looked up pictures of him to be like, and it doesn't look like him, but
yeah,
specifically
but
in the show, I'm like,
same.
that looks like him.
Yeah, this guy in here is the same. Like if you look at pictures, it's like nope.
Something Simpson. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
It was been a while since I've watched it, but actually, speaking of, did you know it's been 3 years today since Daredevil season 3 dropped?
3 years today.
3 years today.
God damn.
At which point I got reminded I really should go back to finishing season 2 because I got halfway through and then I think I started getting annoyed like I did the first time I watched it. But the first time I was, invested in the plot, so I pushed through to the end. This time I just went and I just stopped watching.
Oh God.
But in that sort of way of like, Matt really annoyed me in that season, and like the way just the entire thing with Elektra really just sort of, it's very hard for me to get on board with it properly.
It's season 2 where the Punisher comes in.
Yes.
Yes, that's I love those episodes where it's.
Oh yeah, he's great. Like obviously, he's probably one of the better parts. He's the better part of that season. I just hate it when shows are like, we've shown you all these characters that you like together, working together, and they like each other, and now we're gonna break them up, and it's like, no, stop this.
Yeah. I know. I know the feeling.
I don't like drama for the sake of drama.
Fair point.
Oh,
okay. Man. What else did you watch?
I did. I was going to talk about something else, but Sean has just reminded me about, because he was just saying that he hasn't watched anything for the last 2 weeks. He's been listening to Audible a lot, which is fair enough. But he said he's got he and my aunt Elaine have got tickets booked in for Dune on the 23rd, which is very fun. But it reminded me that I saw. I know you're not big. You're not a fan of James Bond, but I did see No Time to Die on the day it came out, and it was good. I really liked it. It's a bit long. It's about 3 hours long, so it's a big. It's not. But it doesn't. It's not long in the sense where you're kind of sitting there going, "Oh Jesus Christ, you get over with." It just gets to a certain point, like in the second act, where it's like, okay. Start wrapping things up a little bit, and it does start to get to that place, but it's like it's good. I mean, I'm gonna miss Daniel Craig as Bond. I really liked Skyfall when I saw it in the cinema when it came out, and I've really enjoyed watching those movies over the years as they've come out. They're not all perfect or anything like that, but they are fun, and I think he's particularly good in this one. It was a good movie. Anna de Armas is not in it enough. She's in it for about 10 minutes, and she's probably one of the best parts of the whole thing. She's so good. And obviously, I'm gonna say her name wrong. The new 00 agent. Yeah. Lashana Lynch. Thank you, Google. She's incredible. Yeah, very exciting thing. You don't really care that much, so it's sort of like I won't bother going into like all of the plot details and everything, but it's like
I know what happens in it. So.
It's beautifully shot, and there is a small moment in it which I loved and was so thrilled with, where they confirmed that Q is gay, and it's like the tiniest little moment, but I was like,
Yeah.
It was just such a sweet thing. It's like, I've got he was literally just like, it was a pronoun use, and I was sitting there going, oh, they did a thing. I part of the reason I went to go see that movie, I think part of the reason I went to see Skyfall when it came out was because Ben Whishaw was in it.
Ben Whishaw is great.
He's great in that. He's great in all of them. Just wonderful. Anyway.
Yeah,
James Bond was good.
I trust you on that. I still don't like it, so I'm like, I just don't care about it at all.
This one, I think you can feel the influence of like, of having like Phoebe Waller-Bridge on the writing team. And like it's also funny, which is nice. I think if because they are going to be making more James Bond movies, obviously not with Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
But sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I'm going to answer that in just a minute, Sean. But I think in this next iteration, I think they have to go funnier. I think they have to be a little bit more campy, and I think that will really. I think that will work for them very well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Layer Cake. I bought the DVD of it ages ago, and I keep meaning to watch it. I just haven't. But
There you go.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to see all the stuff that Daniel Craig does next now, including more Knives Out, which I think is
going
to be the most fun.
That's going to be great. Let's be honest. He was great in that. I really liked him in that.
Have you seen any of his Bond movies?
Only the one with Javier Bardem as the.
Okay, so Skyfall, so the better ones.
Yeah. I only saw that one because my brother dragged me into the cinema. Basically, it's like, I always watch everything with you, so you have to watch Skyfall. Oh, fine. So I went and watched it, but the only reason I watched it is because I really like Javier Bardem. So I'm like,
I mean, he
was really good.
That is a really good movie. Like,
it was good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but I'm like,
I don't really have that strong feelings about Bond either way.
Yeah.
I just really liked Daniel Craig's Bond, right? You know,
it was good. Like, but I'm like, I just don't like the concept of Bond. Like, I think they are taking themselves way too seriously.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is why I think they need to be campier. Because like there are moments in later ones where they do go kind of like they put jokes in, and it's like, oh, this is great. You should do more of this.
Yeah. So I'm like, meh. The only reason this one interests me is because I love Rami Malek. So I'm like, I was struggling to decide, but then I saw the runtime and I was like, yeah, no, no.
Yeah, I think you kind of do need to be at least like partially invested to want to go and see it. But like, every so often I watched I've been watching the Cinema Wins channel every once in a while now because I hate Cinema Sins. I'm throwing that out there. They just piss me off because it's just like some things that they put sins on for are just things that are actually explained in the plot, so just. No, thank you. Cinema Wins is fun. It's lovely and it's positive. And trying to find things that are good about something. Hi, Pagan. Hi, Danny.
Pagan. Hello, Danny. Hello. Yes.
And they did one on Skyfall, and I forgot how fucking beautiful it is because obviously it's shot by Roger Deakins, and Roger Deakins is kind of the greatest cinematographer out there.
Yeah.
So you kind of the use of color in Skyfall is absolutely stunning.
It was a beautifully shot movie. That's for sure.
There's something flying around in it. Went straight from my forehead. But yeah. No Time to Die.
Yeah.
It was good.
Nice.
I made a joke about it on my Instagram before I went into the movie, and then Sean, it ends with James Bond will return, which is interesting. Not for any reason I'm saying out loud. Because I said I wasn't going to spoil anything, but I did. Yeah, like I said, I with the caption I made of my Instagram post, I looked at it after the movie and went, "Oh God!" I really went for it.
Nice.
Anyway,
nice.
What else have you been watching?
What do I watch? I have to think about it. Wait. It will come to me. It will come. It has a Swedish title because it's a Swedish movie. But there's an English title as well. The Trip. That's the one. The Trip on Netflix. It just came out. It has Nomi Rapace in it, who's fucking brilliant in everything she does. I love her.
I nearly just wrote Trip, and I was like, that's not gonna help.
And she's one of my favorite actresses, and she's great in it.
It says Norway.
No, oh, Norway. Sorry.
One of those Scandinavian countries. Sorry. They're all the same.
No, they're not. Don't. Fine, make me your villain. But it was like it started. So basically, the plot line is that this married couple, goes to.
I think I read about this.
Yeah, to kill each other because they just they had enough of each other. The guy is a director, and the girl is an actress who's not very successful in what she does, and they just get into each other's nerves, and they go to this fishing house or hunting house, or I don't know what they even call it anymore in there, and basically they do attempt to kill each other a couple of times, and it's actually very fun. It's more of a comedy at the beginning, and then there's a switch in the movie where it turns out they did this in a very fun way. So they always time jump when they introduce new characters, and during their last fight where they try to kill each other, they shot into the attic, and 3 men fall down from the attic, and we go back like 6 days, and it turns out that 3 men are actually escaped convicts from from prison, and they were hiding in their house because they just broke in. They just figured that nobody was home, so it's a good place for them to stay. But they never.
Thanks for stopping in, Pagan.
Thank you, Pagan. But they didn't expect anyone to come home, so they basically just hide in the attic and then just get caught in this whole thing. And that's where the switch happens in the movie, because from then onwards it gets very fucking violent, like to a point where I will say that if you don't like violence and a ton of blood and there's actually like an almost rape scene in there as well, then it's not for you. Like it's not for you. It's a very good movie, by the way. Like it is executed freaking amazingly, and the ending is just brilliant in my eyes. But it's I wasn't expecting it to be so violent. Like it still keeps the fun part of it. Like there are jokes and humor hidden in there, but halfway through it gets a tad bit. I was very surprised by it. I was like, oh Jesus, this went really dark really quickly. But incredibly well acted. I love the story and how they built it up, so I highly recommend it, especially if you're into this kind of stuff. It's if I would have to compare it to another movies that have the same level of violence, I would say The Hunt, that is same, or my other favorite movie, Ready or Not, which I keep recommending to you to watch it.
I'm not again. I really do. I do want to watch it. It's just I haven't.
I love that film so much.
It.
Yeah. So yeah. But it's
put it up
great
on the streaming services. Yeah, because honestly, part of the reason was because I would have to. It wasn't available. I'd have to rent it.
It's worth it though. I will just say this.
It's not even available to rent. I have to buy it.
Yeah, I rented it the first time I watched it because I was stupid enough that I didn't watch it in the cinema. I very much regret that because I just love that film so much. I might watch it now. Oh, anyway, yes, that's the trip for you. It's mental, fucking mental.
Alright, Danny just brought up The Night House, which was like, I feel like I have heard of this. I just don't remember.
Oh, I think I heard of it.
Oh, is this is this is the Rebecca Hall one. I think you brought. Did you bring this up the other day?
I brought this up.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Of course.
Yes, so we do know about it. I haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it yet either because I wanted to go and watch it in the cinema, but I just got way too busy to do that. So I have to wait until it comes out on streaming or somewhere because I wasn't able to catch it, but I keep hearing really, really good things about it.
I've had kind of like relatively positive things. I saw I think the review I read a while ago was that it was like the plot isn't the best, but her performance is incredibly good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. And before you say your next one, I have a question for you.
You have a question for me?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
Go on then.
Because he never lands. I think it's brilliant. What?
Anyway, I'm trying to think because I realized that we haven't done this properly in a while, and I've like actually watched a lot of stuff, but I do want to get into stuff I kind of talked about when we tweet about it.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk Squid Game?
Yes.
Okay.
That was
let's do
too
that.
exciting. Yes. Yes.
We
please.
will also get into this because, like,
Obviously.
obviously I put this here for a reason, and
We have to talk about Venom.
I keep wanting to talk about it with so many people, but nobody's seen it yet because it's only just come out.
I've seen it.
I know
I
you've
watched it on premiere
I know
day.
you've seen it, but like,
Of course.
I keep wanting to see. Sean said he knew that one already, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure I knew that one as well, hence the no reaction.
I love that joke. I think it's brilliant.
Yes, Squid Game. I watched Squid Game. I watched Squid Game because I had a dream about Squid Game before I watched Squid Game because it's so pervasive in the zeitgeist at the moment that it clearly was just like I'd been seeing it so much my brain was like, here's how we think the plot goes.
Oh God.
And then just sort of
Yes.
gave it to me in dream form and I went, I guess I'm just gonna fucking watch it then.
Tell me, and then I will talk.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked it. I wasn't expecting to not like it. It's just when it came out, I wasn't really in the mood for it, you know. I don't think there was really anything about it that surprised me too much. I like the quality of it is obviously just like it's just a solidly made piece, right? So it's not like I have nothing wrong to say about it. I am. It's not. I'm also not. I just don't have that much to say about it. I just liked it, you know. Like yeah, it was good.
But. Okay.
Most of the things I have to say about it are like the really small bits and pieces, which I'm going to, preface this now with. I think we're about to talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen Squid Game yet, would recommend. It's good, and you could probably watch it in an afternoon, which is what I did. Well, I say an afternoon. It was like evening up until about 2 a.m.
Fair.
There's like an episode before the last episode, which is basically like a prelude episode. It's only half an hour long.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised to find, but a lot. I think the big thing was that I went into it. I think I knew some of the main bits and pieces that, like, I knew what was going to happen to Ali going into it.
No.
It was everywhere. How were you expecting me not to see it? Like,
Oh God, that's a big spoiler in there. Like, once you realize that, well, it was pretty obvious that they're gonna kill them when they are like eliminated. Yeah,
actually, I think I want to get into that because you brought up a point the first time you brought this up, and I don't think I agree with you on it.
Okay, I don't know what I brought up.
First time you talked about this, you were like, you had complaints about the way that they suggested it was like in the contract they said eliminated, and you were like, how did they not know, or something like that, about that meant you were suggesting that they didn't. The fact that they didn't realize that they were going to be killed when it said eliminated was ridiculous, and I was watching it like there is nothing to indicate that they were going to murder them.
No. I think you mixed that up with something else I said. I think it's the episode 6 where I said that, when they said that you have to choose pairs and be in pairs for the next game, they should have realized that.
I don't think that's obvious either, though, to be honest.
I think it is
I think it's obvious for us as an audience because we are we're in an objective space on this sort of thing.
But I mean, they are right in the game. They already know that all the games are end with a bunch of them dying. Like, I think that's pretty obvious by the second game as well.
But like, I think they were expecting, like the tug of war, because I think this is what they're going off of. Like the tug of war, they're thinking we're going to be pairs against all the other pairs, so we want to be working together to get rid of other people. I think it's perfectly. I mean. I think it's a perfectly reasonable thing not to expect that, like, I think from our perspective, when it comes up, it's like, oh, of course, obviously. However, oh no, Sean's got a quite. Hang on, I'm gonna wait for he's putting a joke. Feel free to put the punchline and I'll read it out to Lily because I don't think she. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sean's got a joke.
Okay, I'm listening.
How do you observe a change? Hang on, let me I can't
Rewind.
speak. How do you observe charged particles in the air?
I don't know.
You just keep an eye on them. Sean has my favorite jokes as partner. I'm sorry, Lily, you can't come close. Sean has the best joke.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I love that joke, but I am the best. Okay.
No, I can't. Sean has the best jokes. I'm not even. Anyway, I don't think there's anything sort of like. I think within the narrative of the thing it makes sense, but for us it's way more obvious. That's where I come with it. I think I'm gonna go skip right to the end and go for something that's just is such a small little thing.
Okay.
Why did he dye his hair red? What was that about?
Because the picture was on the wall and he
But
liked
like,
it. And...
why?
Because it looked cool.
It was just sort of like, that's a choice, alright.
He wanted to make a statement.
Like, okay, sure. I mean, I don't.
Why not? Why? I think it's for me that was the kind of choice when you make that, you know, you already seen some fucking shit, so what does it matter? Why not red?
I mean, yeah, I just feel like it was one of those moments where I was like, I feel like there's more of a reason for this, and I just don't know what it is.
Maybe.
It was just sort of like, that's a choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it was more of a I don't care at this point kind of thing.
But
for me, at least.
Yeah. Because I thought that was more signaling the change into now I am trying to care, because that was when he was about to he was stopped living. He had all this money, but he wasn't touching it. This is the moment he started like, I'm going to use this now properly.
Yeah.
Gonna dye my hair bright red like some kind of K-pop star, and then
yeah.
And then abandon my child again. I know he's like got a sense of purpose, like he's like, I'm gonna go take these things down, but it's like, you could do that after you go and visit your child who is expecting you.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate on that decision.
Like, I'm all for you deciding to go and take these guys down. However, child.
Yeah, but if you think about it, because that's how I saw it. So that child, okay, it's his little girl, obviously, but she still has a stable home.
That's
and,
not. I
you
just
know,
mean
stable.
That, like,
I know.
Yeah.
Obviously. So, but you know, I think it's more sad from his point of view that he feels like that's more important, obviously, than visiting your own child. But
I was seeing it more like, when you said that, I thought you were going more for like, he's aware that she's safe and will continue to be safe, but these people are going there now and therefore they are in danger. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I guess I get. I was just sitting there going like, okay, but like, you please call.
Yeah, but I mean, he it's obvious during the episodes that he is a good person.
Yeah, he's a good man.
He's a good man, and I think he has like this hero complex, where I think when he saw this happening and he realizes that it's happening again, he's just like, okay, I am the only one here who can actually, get these motherfuckers out and just save everyone in there.
I do also, I think the thing I really liked about it was that there really was no reason for everybody to die. There was no reason. Like, the games are not actually. I think if you actively, and there's the whole thing about the fact that the show is like a complete critique of capitalism and the fact that it makes monsters of us all and all those things. Yeah. But there are so many, like, if they actively work together, more of them could have gotten out by the end. Like, it was not
obviously. Yeah,
it's that sort of thing. It's just like, oh, you fools.
Yeah.
You absolute fools. I think the one that really upset me though was Sabiog.
Yeah.
I also knew that one was going to happen, but it happened at a different time than I thought it was. Like, I thought she died during the Marvel thing, and I was like, oh, she doesn't die during the. I think it was just upsetting the way that she ended up dying. To be honest, it was like,
it was
just a fucking bit of glass in the gut.
Yeah.
Wasn't even part of the game.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
rude.
I kept wondering because
Well, I say that,
you know,
really, she died from a knife in the throat, but that's
obviously. But what I was kept wondering is that they keep repeating that one of the rules is that everyone is equal in this. So if one of them, does the whole game and gets through the whole game and, gets an injury afterwards, I think they would have had her. Like, I have this feeling that if she would have been like, oh shit, I have a glass stuck in my stomach, can we do something about this? At least they would have patched her up to be able to finish the game, basically. If we are looking at the whole rule of everyone is equal. And
yeah, I don't know about that because I feel like, but I think that when I think they keep that's the thing, the big thing about it. They're like, this is their last chance. Everybody's equal. It's like, well, they're not though. That's the thing that you're like you're touting this line, but it's not true. It's like they kept saying everybody has a choice here. It's like, well, they accept that emotionally, they don't. Like it's a manipulation tactic. The entire thing. It's like everybody could leave if they want to. It's like, yeah, of course they're gonna fuck. You've just let them go back out in the world and realize how shit everything is. Of course they're going to come back because you've already
yeah,
dangled this thing in front of them. Stop acting like they have any real choice in this, or feel like they really have a choice in this. Or it's like,
I actually really fucking like that. They went back to the word. I was like,
it was a smart move.
I didn't expect it. I was like, so they are like,
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. And then you understand why they did it, and it's like
really interesting the way that they use Ilnam to do
oh
that as well. When you look back on the whole thing, it's like,
yeah,
because he votes to end it.
Yeah. I think that he knew since he created the whole thing, as it turns out in the end. I was like, fuck no. I cried for you, you fucking idiot. I was so angry. I was like,
and the way he was basically just like, I'm so rich I got bored, so I made a game where everybody can kill each other. And it was like, okay.
Right?
You insane person. Also, complete tangent. What was with the way that all of the English-speaking actors spoke?
What do you mean?
Like, all of the old white guys, the VIPs, spoke like weird NPCs.
Yeah. I think it's because it was. I think it was dubbed.
Like, do you think so?
Yeah, I think it was dubbed.
I don't think it was at all.
It was dubbed. I think because
what would have been the point? They had it like because it was
because the taskmaster. Was it the taskmaster? How did they call him?
Davis.
How did they?
I don't remember the guy with the black mask. I know.
Yeah. He was dubbed. I only found that out later on.
Oh well, that makes sense for. I feel like that makes sense for him, but like everybody else, you can. It doesn't make sense for them to. I think you can see.
It's on at least it sounded like that for me.
It does. I think that's the thing about it. It's like this sounds dog, but I don't think it actually is. I think they just sound weird, or they have like really weird dialogue, and it's sort of like. How bizarre.
Yeah, because if you watch a movie that's like an international co-production, is like the Space Sweepers, which I talked about. You have Richard Armitage there, so like it's obviously him and whatnot. But here they don't really show that they're from Europe or America or somewhere.
I think it's just meant to be sort of generic white people.
I think so. Yeah,
but it's so funny because it's just
it is. It's a bit weird. It's
so weird.
It's like, okay, that's a decision. But I don't think it doesn't take away from the show. Obviously.
No, I think it just sort of adds just another sort of like, I guess this is a thing now.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I am not okay with is what they did with the cop, whose name I can't remember at the moment because I am bad with names. Because he got so far in the investigation, and it turns out that I'm just gonna call him the taskmaster because I don't remember what he was called. Turns out to be his brother.
I think I got that part, like, yeah, it was sort of, I don't know, I can't remember exactly. It might have been like I got it exactly when they wanted me to get it, in that sort of like, we're giving you the clue sort of thing.
Yeah.
But weirdly, and then you can feel smart as you put these two things together.
Yeah.
because I mean, I think like everybody, I went on going, okay, so he was in the games, and then they have the whole thing where he finds all the things. It's like, oh, he won. It's like in that moment, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
him.
It's
Like
him. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously, they didn't want to hide that. I think it was like, there you go. But when he shoots his brother,
I kind of hoped
it
he'd come back.
yeah, I think he falls into the ocean.
Yeah, that doesn't mean necessarily that you know how hard it is to
I
you
know,
hit water from that kind of a height.
obviously, but I think what was weird for me is that he shoots him in the arm. So for me, that kind of implied that we're gonna see him again or something.
Yeah, it does give that kind of like you've
Right?
already shot a bunch of people in the head. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just shot him in the head. If you became this evil, whatever, then you would just do it. But
I don't
obviously,
even know
he
if it's
still had.
evil. I think it's just sort of
Oh,
indoctrinated. You know?
yeah, 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 yeah. But he still had a sense that fuck, this is my brother. At the end of the day, and that's why I was a bit surprised that he didn't come back. And obviously, now that Squid Game is fucking massive, like it's going to be a 1 billion thing for Netflix at this point. It's the most watched series that they ever put on. So there has to be a season 2 happening. Even though the director says that he still doesn't really have.
I was gonna say I don't know if I need more.
Oh, that's definitely gonna be more at this point. Like,
it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I'm just so used to sort of. I feel like I've gotten quite into this trend of like just like a limited series where it's like you have one season.
I mean,
that's
works,
the whole
yeah.
story, and that's all we need.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd be fine if they actually the creator decided to go, no, that's the story you're getting, and that's all we're doing.
Yeah.
I'd be good with that.
I'd be good with that as well, but the ending heavily implies a follow up.
Yeah, I didn't even really. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be against it, but it was sort of like
I
am worried about like intense hype now. You know,
it's always in there, yeah.
Because it's like this is now is like you said, it's huge. So it's like, how do you come back from that and make it something that people continue to really like, and also sticks with with your message to begin with. I don't know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I am though. I will say this, that I am incredibly happy that it's a Korean show, and I am really hoping that it will inspire people to watch more Korean TV and films, because I think Squid Game is a perfect example. Is that it's good. You don't need big names like or Americans or English people in there or whatever. You can, if your show is good, it's gonna pick up.
It's gonna be good. Yeah,
it's gonna be good. That's it. And Squid Game is excellent for that.
I will say I think they obviously the production designer is kind of iconic at this point.
Yeah,
but I think the soundtrack is brilliant.
It is. Oh my god!
It's like it's so sort of like ambient and sort of terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're just sort of like ever so slightly uncomfortable. Yeah. But it's like it manages to really tie in that childishness of like these are kids games and all that sort of stuff. Where it's like, oh man, it's just fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Every time that I guess it's not really. I'm just trying to decide if it counts as a song.
Well,
because it's like there are vocalizations in it, but like, do they count as lyrics? I'm like, I don't know. The main piece with the
main piece,
the sort of almost childish choir coming in the background. I really liked that. Every time it came in, I was like, this is pretty cool, actually.
It is pretty cool. And you realize with this series that child games are fucking dark if you think about them.
I love everything. I would say because obviously Squid Game is not the actual Squid Game is not a thing. It's a very much a Korean
it is
thing.
Yeah.
There was like I think the British Netflix account was like if it was English, it mentioned British Bulldog, and I was like, it's very, to be honest, British Bulldog very similar to the vibe of Squid Game. At the end, I was like, it's violent enough that it would work for sure.
Yeah.
I never played Bulldog because I did not like roughhousing.
Fair.
British Bulldog was the game that was banned from every school because it just required people throwing themselves at each other, and broken bones often happened. Just if you, yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like a brutal game. So,
I don't even. I don't even think I know the rules of Bulldog, but like,
yeah.
it was one thing. And then somebody also suggested Duck Duck Goose,
Hmm.
and I was sitting there, how it's like, if you don't catch the goose, they die.
Yeah, and all these kid games are like, if you lose, you die. If you whatever, you die. And I'm like, yeah, they were pretty dark, weren't they? You just don't think about it when you're a kid. You're like, wee, blissfully
Tag is a
playing.
great playground game. I'm like suddenly curious about whether or not I know remember the. It is characterized by its physicality and is often regarded as violent, leading it to be banned from many schools in the 60s through 90s. It was also banned, I think, at my school multiple times over.
Yeah.
It's like, no
No
Bulldog.
wonder.
Yeah. Several British schools in the 21st century still do not allow children to play it. I love how it says, and then some allow it as long as it's non-contact. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's just tag. I think the whole point is that it's tagged, but you have to actively smash them to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called it British Bulldog. That's just the way Sean, I remember
Nice.
it's probably not British. But it just happened to be British Bulldog for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and I am also very happy that I am almost 99% sure that these wonderful fucking actors are not gonna get international jobs as well, and I can't wait to for them to show up. And this is the point where I will say that the Eternals world premiere was yesterday, and
Can I do something real quick just before we move on? It's like, fuck you, Sangwoo.
Oh.
I mean, Gentleman Played You was wonderful, but also
wonderful.
You, Sangwoo.
Fuck you. Yes.
Anyway, please continue.
Yes. So, So Eternals world premiere just happened, and obviously all the Eternals were there. What a surprise.
What?
They were beautiful, gorgeous people. But I will not apologize for bringing this up from now on till I actually watch the movie, and even after that. Angelina Jolie and Ma Dong-seok, who's now Don Lee, or known as Don Lee in the Hollywood era, are going to play best friends. And it was so good to see them doing the interviews and surprising each other and just genuinely be so freaking happy. Like, I literally went like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen, and I just love them so much. I already love this movie. I haven't even seen it, and I'm like, this is my new favorite MCU film. I don't care. But I love the interviews. I watched the whole thing. So I watched the whole premiere. And, I love Salma Hayek. I will say that again and again, because I think she's great. I think she's such an enthusiastic, just joyful person. Like, she literally does the interview and then goes, look at the moon is so beautiful. Like, Jesus Christ. Yes. We believe you, Sal. You're great. Yeah, but it's just it's such an amazing cast, and it is so freaking diverse. It's a joy seeing so many people represented. Kumail Nanjiani is already, I just love him. I always loved him, but
he's so great.
He's great, and you can see like this respect for each other that I always love to see with this big ensemble pieces. Like they love each other. You see that they had good time, and I think that's part of the magic of these MCU movies. Because there are like a bit of a butting heads along the way, but altogether you see how they just enjoy each other's company as well, and they just have a good time with it, and they do really love to do it. And obviously the reviews are already coming in.
Yeah, I kept looking. I was looking because the only thing I saw was an independent article that said it was that they were like split between this is amazing and it's messy. Was the thing I read, and I wanted to see more, I'm like, okay, give me actual examples, but I couldn't find anything. Like, all the articles were being very annoying, like vague about the whole thing. I would like to actually read a proper set of reviews, but it won't take long for actual like the
No.
reviews to come
It
out.
won't. Like, it's coming out in like 2 weeks,
Like
3
2-3 weeks,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. But basically, there is
Shit! I
one.
just realised I'm not going to be able to go see it when it comes out. I'm going to have to wait like a week.
Oh, I'm not. I will be
I
there.
no, I mean I literally can't because my dad's having surgery, so we have to isolate for a bit.
Okay. Fair.
So literally we won't be able to go anywhere.
Oh no. Man,
I've gone
like
out of
that comes
focus.
first, and being healthy comes first anyway. But there's one thing that fucking annoys me with this premiere, and it's a big thing because they revealed something that I think we all should have seen.
Yeah. I saw this and was a bit like you didn't put like a spoiler thing in place.
Something.
It's like
Yeah.
It was very bizarre that it was just like immediately here's this piece of information. I was like, oh okay, we just know this now.
Yeah, we're just gonna put it out there. Okay, I would have liked to see it for myself. It's basically, since it's no longer. If you don't want to hear it, then just turn up the volume, and I'm just gonna do this when you can come back. But basically, they just revealed that in the post-credit, it's the post-credit scene as well. It's not even the fucking movie itself.
This is the thing about it. They're usually so good at like keeping these things in articles, but no, people were just like straight up tweeting this, just like you know this information now.
Yeah, Harry Styles is in it, and he plays Thanos' brother,
which is like it's like.
It's like
complete and interest. I don't know anything like as I've mentioned many times. Don't know anything about comic stuff. I don't know who Eris is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the concept of Harry Styles being Josh Brolin's brother in anything is very funny to me.
I mean, for everyone, to be honest. But to be fair, in the comics as well, Thanos' brother is like this very good-looking, very like they do resemble. Okay. I will say that it's not a bad casting in my eyes. If you look at it from the comic sense, obviously Harry Styles is in Dunkirk as well, and I think
a movie called My Policeman.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. It's called Policeman.
It's Policeman. Yeah. And I think he's good. I think he's doing a solid job with the whole acting gig. So. We don't know anything about it, but I think this should have been a reveal to get at the cinema and not in advance. Like, I was like, fuck, I know now, I guess. Thank you for revealing that. Like, I was so annoyed with that information. All
right, we're gonna ixnay on the talk about it now. So
you can
please
go up.
Please
the volume.
Unmute.
Yes.
Unmute.
Unmute.
Yes. So I'm not against. There's like a whole spoiler culture like discussion thing. Where I like parts of which I agree with. I think the lengths at which Marvel Studios goes to in order to like keep the actors in the dark in order to get things not spoiled is insane. And like it's to the point where
it works.
No, but it's like you can't be telling your actors like lies so that when they turn up on the shoot day, they just don't know what they're shooting. I think that's insane. Like there is a culture to it that it's gone too far in places. At the same time, I think the press and people who are going to these things and seeing them early have like a moral duty sounds a bit intense, but it's a bit of like a just like it's a courtesy where it's like just shush about the thing until it actually comes out properly.
It's the same
also
thing.
Trust your actors to actually keep their mouths shut about things, and if it does come out, if they do accidentally spoil something, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing. Like if they would have watched Venom and revealed what the post-credit scene was.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I really need to pee. So I'm thinking, do you think maybe we could take like a 2-minute break?
Oh, we can.
Or you could. I can either go over to our little.
Oh, I can say dad jokes.
Do you want to just entertain people with dad jokes while I go?
I mean, I will probably entertain myself mostly, and I don't see the YouTube chat. So, guys, if you enjoy it, just let us know, and Katie will read it back.
All right, I'm just gonna turn my camera off and mute myself. I will be back in a minute. Lily's gonna apparently regale you with a bunch of really terrible jokes.
No, they are lots of jokes, okay?
Anyway,
don't
bye.
pee. Bye. Okay. So it's just me. I'm gonna entertain you with my favorite dad jokes. I actually have like a written list here because I love dad jokes. I think they are hilarious. What did the flowers do when the bride walked down the aisle? They rose. Just, I love it. Also, I will say that it takes guts to be an organ donor. It's so stupid. Also, you're not going to understand half of it because I'm already laughing at them, and I didn't. Okay, it's fine. Let's keep going. I was going to tell a time traveling joke, but you guys didn't like it. Get it? This, I will tell you this. This is a fun fact. It's not a joke. If you would say this, there are some jokes in English that if you would translate it to Hungarian, it wouldn't make sense because obviously our grammar just doesn't work the same way. So I think how Katie put it, I think that's why I find these jokes really amusing because they are just, it's just so good. Okay, one more. I don't know when Katie's coming back, so I'm just going to keep going. Stop looking for the perfect match. Use a lighter.
Said I'm fine.
It's so good. Okay, wait. I am trying to find the really good ones. Oh!
I'm here.
That was great. I had one more.
Okay, we'll do it. And I'll read you the one that Sean's put in the chat.
Oh, we have another. Okay. Wait. I lost it.
Oh.
It's almost. I almost got it.
Happens.
You just you mesmerized me.
This is annoying.
Dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can.
Alright, that's pretty good. I like that. Alright,
Okay.
here's the one that Sean put in. I was at
Okay.
a job interview yesterday, and the interviewer asked if I can perform under pressure. I said no, but I can perform Bohemian Rhapsody.
I knew that one, but I still like
good.
it.
I like that. All right. Hello. So yeah,
okay.
I literally only needed a couple of minutes. I was just like, oh Jesus Christ.
It's okay. I have one more.
Okay.
Okay. Last one. I lost my job at the bank on my first day. Customer asked to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Oh dear.
Okay,
See, those are the ones I kind of like. The ones where it's like they kind of just
yes.
like it's that kind of subversion of expectations sort of thing. I do like those ones. Anyway,
good.
Do you want to talk about Venom?
Yes.
Let's talk about Venom.
Yes.
I think we'll try and keep it unspoilers for a bit, and then we'll do a little bit where we do some spoiler stuff, so we
at
can
the
do
end,
like a mute bit. I messaged you. I won't say exactly what I messaged you yet because obviously it was
Spoiler.
like the entire end of the movie. So
Yeah.
but as with the last Venom movie, maybe this one isn't narratively very good, but boy is it so much fun.
It is a lot of fun.
I haven't stopped thinking about how much I loved the movie since I saw it on Friday. It's fucking ridiculous. I love it so much.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
It's like the first couple of minutes. It takes a few minutes for Eddie to kind of pop back into the narrative. You kind of have an introduction to some of the other plot stuff that's going on. I was sitting there going a bit like, eh. And as soon as Eddie and Venom turned up, I was like, ah, yes, there's the Venom I love.
Yeah.
Actively made me laugh out loud multiple times, which isn't something that I always get when I go to see a movie in the cinema. But like just the instant they came, I was genuinely laughing quite a lot.
Yeah.
They're so funny.
They are the best. They are a married couple.
They are.
Like just it's just such a joy.
It's
just
so much
them.
fun. I will never get over how just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. So Sean, it's like he said that he wasn't very worried about Venom spoilers, that the value is in the performances. You're absolutely right. The value
Yeah.
is in the performances. What I don't want to spoil for people is just how great because it's like plot wise, the stuff to do with Carnage. I understand. It's not the biggest thing in the world if that got spoiled. It's
Nah.
exactly how this relationship plays out that I don't really want to spoil for people until they actually
Yeah.
go and see it.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those things where they were like, Tom Hardy's been very open about the fact that they really wanted to play into the things that people liked about the first movie, which is the relationship between the two of them. And I think there's an element of just sort of like, you don't want to get your hopes up in like it being the thing that you want it to be, right? And like, because everybody was just sort of like these two, it's love. They love each other. They absolutely love each other. And then hearing, I think many of us have been, I guess, queer baited to the point of like not trusting anything any kind of creator says, because they half the time they do not get it at all. Actually, I'd say that 90% of the time they don't get it at all. They're like, yeah, we'll do this, and then it's like they completely fuck it up. I think they actually did listen properly.
And it's thanks to Tom Hardy. I will just put that in there.
Absolutely thanks to Tom Hardy. It's like he has a story credit on this, and I think Kelly's script is fucking phenomenal, and it's like I love all of the interviews for this have been great. I've been watching a lot of them. Him and Andy Serkis play off each other.
Oh my god, yes,
so good.
Yeah, I love them. I love Andy, so it's just a joy to watch them.
Yeah, they're just really sweet to get. I watched one from I think it was Heat magazine yesterday, where she answers like, "Do you think that Venom and Alfie from Peaky Blinders would get on?" And he was like, "Oh, I think it would be insane."
Oh, that would be insane. That would be insane.
Nobody would survive.
Yeah. I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question with Venom. Because obviously I had no choice but to watch it in Hungarian because I came with a Hungarian dub. We have good Hungarian dub, so it's not a problem. And we have some jokes that I don't think would translate well in English, but we can turn English jokes into very good Hungarian jokes, like with playing with the words and whatnot. But there's this one very funny joke that I nearly peed myself. I laughed so hard on it. And I don't know how is it in English because I couldn't find it anywhere up. So I couldn't look it up. It's when they are going to the prison to see Woody Harrelson again. And they have the fight. And Tom Hardy says in Hungarian, the translation was "suck my dick," and that's the moment when he steps into the security part, and the woman goes, "Excuse me."
He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything that he doesn't say dick. He just goes, "You suck," basically.
You suck. Okay. Because they translated it like you suck my dick, basically.
It's the same. I made a so I tweeted about this after I saw the movie, and then I, being the social media person that I am, screenshotted my own tweet and then posted that on Tumblr. Nice. It was like, this is funny. It's doing the rounds. It's doing very well. But basically, honestly, my favorite part of this is the fact that Eddie will outrightly just talk out loud to Venom the entire time.
Yeah.
And then whenever anybody like catches him at it, or like especially during that bit in the prison, where he literally in the Venom goes, "You suck," and he out loud goes, "You suck," and then he doesn't even. He's just like, I'm sorry.
I can't even explain this.
I got nothing for this. Sorry,
I got nothing.
I'm really bad.
I just love that scene so much.
He's just sort of like, "Yep, I got nothing. That was just really weird. Sorry."
Yeah, I love that scene. I laughed so hard at that. I was like, "Yeah, that's brilliant." It is brilliant.
It's so funny.
Yeah, good.
I want to go see it again so badly.
I mean, it would be worth it, to be honest.
But like, I have to go and like, I have to travel. Like, they're not showing it in my local cinema because my local cinema is currently only showing No Time to Die, and we'll be introducing Dune as of this week. But so it means I have to actually, travel to go see it. And there's a part of me that's just sort of like, do I want to have the conversation where I go, "Hello, I'm going to Brighton again to go watch Venom again"?
I mean, you can have that conversation, and I think everyone would understood.
I don't know if my mother will. to be honest. But there you go.
There you go.
God, I do want to see it again so bad. I do wish they'd show it in my local cinema. I don't like multiplex cinemas, honestly. I think maybe I've just been spoiled by how wonderful my local cinema is, but I find big cinema rooms to be less intimate. Like, there's something about smaller cinema rooms that allow you to kind of get more immersed in the space, and I also find that they always have that. I know it's probably a health and safety thing, but they always have that like ambient lighting, and it's like I can't. It's just light in here.
Yeah, I hate that.
I want it to be dark.
Yeah, I know. Our cinema here is very good at that, so they don't do that.
Yeah, it tends to be like full dark in my actual local cinema, but
but multiplexes are just like dim light. Just don't leave us alone.
At least Cineworld at least have more comfortable seats. I hate the Odeon. I hate the Odeon so much.
I don't like Odeon either.
Yeah. Anyway,
we had a Cineworld in Stratford. And what was very interesting with them, it was like one of the biggest ones. So they had like, I don't know, like 19 or even more screens.
Wow.
And the smaller ones, like they had an upstairs as well. And the smaller ones were like completely dark. But I just didn't understand the logic in that. Like, okay, that's weird. I didn't mind it because I watched, for example, I watched Zombieland. The second Zombieland in one of the small ones.
I have that on DVD, and I still haven't watched it. I bought it. I was one of those ones I went to Tesco and went, I can just get this. And then I forgot to get the security tag taken off, so I had to like actively break it open in order to get that out.
Oh, but, no!
I have it. I just haven't watched it.
Watch it. It's very fun. But yeah, I watched that in the small screen, and it was fun. It was fun that it was nice and dark.
I had a small conversation before we started on whether or not this was Sunny or Cher. At least decided it's Sunny.
It is. I decided. But yes, about Venom, I loved it, and I think what's important with this movie,
both of the movies, and the reason I love the franchise,
is that it's dumb,
it's so
and they
stupid.
know that it's dumb, and that's why it's good.
It's like, I'm not watching these movies for the plot. I'm watching it for these two.
Yep. And, all those who complain and, oh my God, Venom was so bad. I don't know, guys, why you're like so hyping it up. We know it's bad, but it's fucking fun. And they know it's bad, but they made it fucking fun. So, like, what is your problem? You clearly went in and expected another huge superhero thing.
The number of like guys that were like complaining is like they've completely ruined Carnage. It's like nobody cares about like the
nobody fucking cares about it. And it's if you watch the first one, you know that it doesn't matter. And also I love comments like if it would be a DC movie, you would already complaining and it doesn't have anything to do with
the thing that like the interesting thing for me is that with the post I was so this is my chunky D20 that I bought, and it's just nice. Very fun to fiddle with. The thing people keep tagging the post that I made with Marvel. I don't think of it as a Marvel movie at all, which is interesting considering some things.
Yes,
we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah. But it was like Marvel. I'm like, this isn't a Marvel movie. This is just Venom.
It's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Done. And now spoilers.
So spoilers. Okay.
Just volume down.
So if you don't want any like, sort of fun spoilers and also post-credit spoilers, which is quite important, mute now.
Yeah. Just
Are you gone?
We will just signal you.
We'll do this again, and we'll yell at you but like mute now. Okay. Yeah. So
okay. The post credits scene.
Are we going to do that one first? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to talk about the ending and the message I sent to you, but we'll do the post credits scene first.
I want the post credits scene first because I genuinely I am always excited when it comes to Marvel and all their production and everything, but I literally went like.
Oh yeah, I sat forward in my seat. I knew it was going to happen. I think it was like
I knew it as well.
I was like, I think I know what's going to go. I had to go on, but it was like, I didn't realize that was how they were going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about. There is a part of me that's just sort of like, don't ruin him, Marvel. Don't Don't ruin him.
I don't think they will.
You have to let Tom Hardy be unhinged.
Yeah.
You can't like not be.
Just like the same with Ryan Reynolds, and I think it's Ryan already talked about how they are like completely fine with whatever direction that will take, like to take.
True,
so.
But we haven't seen exactly how that's going to come out yet. We haven't seen
Obviously.
the Marvel. We haven't seen Marvel actually take on these new sort of things that they required.
Not yet.
Or whatever the hell deal they've apparently made with Sony for Venom.
Yeah.
But I'm just.
But they made something.
They made something. I just am like, you please don't. Like if you're gonna have Venom in your movie, you have to allow Tom Hardy to take the reins on who he is, and because otherwise I don't want it.
Here's my 2 guesses about what that post-credit scene means. Basically, post-credit scene, Venom reveals that he and all the parasites can travel to multiverses, and he offers Eddie that he can take him.
I don't think that's what it meant at all.
Huh? Yeah,
he said that he has like many thousands of years worth of knowledge, and he's about to give him like a second's worth taste of that. And at that moment, what I think happens is the moment in the trailer we see in Spider-Man where Doctor Strange breaks the multiverse and they get pulled into Spider-Man's universe. Because Eddie goes, "What did you do?" And he goes, "That wasn't me."
Oh, that's right. But he does mention multiversal knowledge, like.
I think he has I don't think he has the ability to pull them into the multiverse. I don't think he has that ability. I think that it comes from what's going on in the No Way Home trailer.
Yeah. Well, either that or what happened at the end of Loki.
Who knows? Yeah. I think it's probably more. I think it's more likely to be what's going on.
So I have. So basically, they see the news report about Peter Parker being Spider-Man, and Venom is already like very much enjoying the sight of Tom Holland, and it's Tom Holland at the end, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ! Here's my 2 things. 1, Tom Hardy won't be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Or his part is going to be incredibly small compared to everyone else in there. That's my first theory. And this is how, because if we are completely honest...
I mean, if Venom's going to be in it, Tom Hardy's going to be in it.
To be completely honest, this seems to be the last time we see Tom Holland in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, the way that they're suggesting is like this is the end of a trilogy, right? Yes. The hope is that they will be able to continue whatever relationship they've got going on without Disney buying Sony.
It's but it's also the contract because this is the basically it's the last one in their contract with Tom Holland being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Spider-Man. So I think it's just a very smart way for Sony to
kind of bring their own, like, hey, Spider-Man, you're mine again now.
Yes,
I see.
Basically, that's one of my theories. My second theory is linked to the trailer that came out for No Way Home, because in the trailer there is this one scene, and it's literally like 2 seconds, so it's like a just blink and you miss it moment. They show Peter standing in front of what seems to be a house or something, and something behind him breaks through, and the tips were that it's either Professor Lizard or Venom.
Interesting.
And because you can't see who it is, it's not clear at all, even if people try to slow down that scene, but it made so dark that you just can't figure out who that is. That it might be our glimpse at Venom, and he's part of the Sinister Six, which seems to be the plot for No Way Home.
Do you know what's interesting? Yes. I have never actually seen Spider-Man 3. That's the first thing I'll say. Like the original, like Sam Raimi,
Tobey Maguire one.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I remember when it came out, my dad saw it on a plane, and then told me it wasn't very good, and I just never watched it. It wasn't like an active thing. It just it was one of those sort of like any desire I had to see it disappeared when he told me it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the actual dynamic between Venom and Spider-Man is like, other than like a game I had as a kid, and I don't even remember that very well. So especially based on like this Venom that we've gotten to know quite well, and this Tom Holland Spider-Man, I don't know where the conflict is going to come from.
Well, that's the good question, isn't it?
Well, this is so this is where I'm sort of like, I don't. This is I have no idea.
I think if we look at Tom Hardy's Venom, I think it's gonna be more of an obsession from Venom's part.
That seems like a thing that might be fun,
and not a conflict.
Because I know that they're meant to be. I guess enemies, I thought they were meant to be like but I think it's but at the same time it's kind of like a weird sort of like that frenemy sort of thing where it's like I kind of like you, but I also like pissing you off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my thing, you're gonna do your thing, and it's probably gonna get in. We're all gonna get in each other's way.
It's gonna be interesting to see what they are planning to do.
Sorry, I just kicked the wire that has my Hello everybody, I'm just gonna move you back over here a little bit. There we go.
Hello. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see because it might just be a huge STs, and again, as I said, Tom Hardy might not be even showing up in No Way Home at all, or maybe in post-credits scene, or who knows. But yeah, it will be very, very interesting.
And now,
sure.
I'm going to talk about the thing I sent you.
Yes.
Which I just think is a funny thing. It literally, so the ending of the movie is the two of them basically choosing each other in a church, and then they go on holiday together. It's like, these two got married. That's just fucking what happened. They fully got married, and then they went on honeymoon. Married.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of like, I couldn't believe my fucking eyes when it cut to them on a beach together. And it's like, he's actually got the sand in his toes. And I was like, what's happening? Are we actually getting this right now? And then he actually says, I love you. And I was like, oh my God.
They love each other.
This is a win for the gays.
It's so
also,
good.
Also, just like the entire sequence of Venom going out in San Francisco's like gay scene, and it's the fact that he literally like some woman starts flirting with him. It's like, you're not my type. It's like, my God, this parasite is gay.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good.
I'm coming out of the Eddie closet. I was like, I can't believe we're actually winning this much. Marvel would never. They just wouldn't.
You'll see.
God, I want to see it again so bad. It's such a disaster. I loved it so much.
Go and watch it.
There is one piece of criticism I saw that I do kind of agree with, and I would like, and I think would actually make a third Venom movie perfect in my eyes, and that is actual character development for Eddie.
Yeah.
Because this does feel like Venom's film. This feels like the character arc that happens within this movie is for Venom.
Mm-hmm.
I really like to see how Eddie the thing I saw was the suggestion that it was like the first movie was the two of them meeting, the second movie was Venom actively choosing Eddie, and now the third movie should be Eddie actively choosing Venom.
Yeah,
which I like very much. I think honestly, if they just managed to give Eddie like an actual like a sort of character arc within whatever next story that they have him in, perfect. I would be thrilled. And that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I have to agree on that. You can turn the volume.
Unmute. Come back to us.
Unmute. This always reminds me of the Jake Gyllenhaal interview he did with Ellen, and they were playing a game where he always had to push a button.
Oh yeah.
So remember, and then he just that was the first time he got Instagram, and he got obsessed with the word unfollow. So at one point he starts to say unfollow. Such an idiot.
That man is insane. I'm very appreciative of him.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I that's one interview I keep going back to watch because it's just fucking hilarious. It's the one that Ryan Reynolds.
I was going to say it's not part of the life. I mean, the greatest press tour that ever happened.
It is. It's oh my God, and even as they study like, excuse me, don't call me Jake. I'm a very serious actor. I'm Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, the best one is the Rotten Tomatoes one where the woman.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's the one.
It's the one where she's like, is filming a movie where you're meant to be in space great because you just get to wear socks the whole time, and they just go, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's the best thing.
But my favorite part, and I have that on my phone because I love that part so much, is when they talk that our press people are just stressed right now, and they just have darts and they I think I want to say every time I saw it like 100 times, and I'm just
it was the best breast pestle.
breast pestle.
Breast pestle.
Oh god,
I love a good press tour. I love watching the interviews that come out from the press tour. I'm
yeah.
very sad when the press tour stopped being in person because like the Zoom they don't have the same thing because you've got the delay and it's like it's not nobody's fault. I mean, you could argue it's the government's fault for not really taking the coronavirus seriously enough, but we're not going to get into that right now. Now that they've got them happening in person again, I'm thrilled about it.
I am as well. It's that. Oh my god, I have to watch it again. I love that interview.
I rewatched Mad Max Fury Road after I finished.
You did.
And that movie rules. That's just facts.
What a day! What a lovely day! I love that movie as well.
Yeah, it just fucking rules. I love everything about it. I love like, the end. Like I tweeted this out. It's like Nux's end. I've seen this is the third time I've watched it, and it really got to me this time around. I was like, oh god, like it really just sort of like got me in the chest, that one. And just how I love how tender it is at the end, especially in the sort of I think that actually the whole thing's really quite tender in places. There's a lot of care given to the women in this movie because it's like it was pointed out that like yes it's called Mad Max but it really is Furiosa's movie.
It is Furiosa's movie.
There's a great New York Times article that kind of does like a verbal history of like the making of the project and how like tense everybody was like making and how kind of like Tom and Charlize were entirely on at the right times, but because they were both under so much pressure and like Tom wasn't huge with the way that George was going about directing things because he just like I think they were all just putting a lot of pressure on each other as that kind of thing, but now they're just sort of like it was a great we do it in a heartbeat. We loved how it came out, and then it's so fascinating watching it because it's like the whole thing was like storyboarded before it was scripted, and it's like knowing how both of us having been on sets and knowing how they film things and like there were so many really 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 quick cuts. There are a lot of setups in this movie. I can only imagine how insanely stressful that must have been as like having George Miller being there like no this is important, we need all of these, and just being any of the crew just sort of like fuck we've done like 10 of these already, how can we expect to be doing any more? I mean it came out so incredibly.
It is so, it has one of my all-time favorite musical
music cues.
Yes, it's that? The many mothers when Furiosa has that whole breakdown in the sand at the end, and it's just so gorgeous. I keep going back to that one, and I just listen to it because it's so brilliant written, like heads down.
I think there's something really fascinating about the musicality of the whole thing because it's obviously so based on rhythm. All the cuts are so very rhythmic. And there's like obviously the fact that all of the like it's all like there's been many videos put on this, but like a lot of it is based on center framing or like moving into the center frame, so you can like constantly follow the action despite how incredibly quick the cuts are. I had a point and it's gone from my brain.
It happens. I don't know what you were going to say.
I was there. It's like there was a point. No. I was leading to somewhere and I don't remember what it was.
You were.
It was about rhythm, and I was talking about. I think rhythm, that there's something incredibly oddly musical about the whole thing, and in the dialogue, that was what I was talking about. The dialogue is so specific and like interesting on the ear. There's like dialogue is used so sparingly within the film, but when it is used, I think it sounds incredibly musical. and not in the way that like it's not in like an Aaron Sorkin kind of way where like it gets really there's just something very sort of lyrical about the whole thing. I don't know. I just think it's fascinating and such a.
It is.
I want to watch it again now. Jesus. It's only been a couple of days now. I can't watch it. Fuck. Anyway, do you think we should wrap up?
Yeah, I think we've been going on long enough.
Rambled for long enough.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
But Saturday is our time to shine, so that's gonna be even more fun.
Hopefully we'll be back to like a normal-ish schedule, like in a way of doing this. At some point, I'm really going by Lily's schedule at this point.
Yeah, you are. Poor thing. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We apologize for the weird nature in which this podcast has been going out recently. We'll get back to normal at some point.
Wait, at some point it's gonna, unless you enjoy the live streams.
Honestly, they're not. It's good. So
just let us know if you like this kind of way, then we can do it like this. I don't mind, to be honest. The one thing I will say that we definitely have to do it this way next week as well, because I just won't be home to record.
Well, as long as you're available to do it this way, then that's fine.
I am, yeah. I'm all good.
Just based off of what I did last week whilst you were busy, and
yes,
in first episode of Succession, fucking brilliant, and that's all I'll say.
There you go. Excellent.
Brilliant. I'm so excited. I honestly, this should be more of it has to be more of a priority into this, because it's so good.
Yeah. Can also before we go,
okay.
I don't know if I can reveal this, but basically they didn't say I cannot reveal this. But during our D&D game, I got a message.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
I was dumbfounded. I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, I did a proper research before I sent it to you. You know how I cried about Lost in Space not being announced when it comes out? Well, it is. It's out. It's coming out on the 1st of December, on my birthday month. I am very excited. And I was very loud about it. And I guess they noticed it because I got a message on Twitter from the official Lost in Space account saying that they very much appreciate my love for the show, and they would like to send me a gift package to celebrate season 3.
I'm just saying, if you want to send me anything to do when the Umbrella Academy season 3 comes out, please feel free. I would love that.
What I can promise is that once I get that package, I have no idea what it's gonna be there. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do a live unboxing because I am already very much excited. I'm like, oh Jesus, I never got anything like this, so I was very much surprised. Like, oh my God, is this? Are you sure you wanted to message me? I appreciate it, but are you sure? So that's exciting. And right after that, like 3 days later, they announced that my other favorite thing, Camp Cretaceous season 4 is coming out on the 3rd of December.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing. You really have to stop acting like there's a third person controlling our Twitter account. It's just the two of us. Lily just likes to then retweet things being like, I concur. It's like, it's just her. It's okay. You can just say you're boosting yourself. You don't have to act like there's another person involved.
But it looks more professional. Does
it? I don't think it does. I think it just looks like you're talking to yourself.
I mean, I have a Venom as well. It's
going well.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, this was it for today.
Oh, shit. We didn't talk about the Cowboy Bebop teaser.
I think it's brilliant.
I had to watch it a good few times before I got on board with it, because the first time I watched it, I was like, this feels a bit awkward to me. And then I kind of realized that that's not what the episodes are going to be like. This was very specifically filmed as like this kind of teaser to put together. I watched it a couple more times. I'm on board with it. It just took me. I think it just took me a minute to find the rhythm of it. I was like, I really wasn't sure about it to start with, but that specifically the ending part with them all on the bebop, where they're just sort of like, I should have been the leg. It was fine. I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That whole vibe. If it's more like that, I'm into it. Yeah. I think I just really enjoyed how they built up the whole thing and how they changed the scenes and it was
everything.
Very fascinatingly put together.
Very fascinating, yeah. I loved it.
It was just one of those things where I was looking at like I don't want the whole series to be like this.
I don't
I
think it's like this.
but we're getting an actual trailer next week, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And it's a month from today that it comes out.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and the original one will be.
Oh yes, and the original
Netflix
will be
as
out
well.
on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. Yep. I won't be home. I'm very disappointed.
I'm just gonna sit
Well, not really, because
Through
I'm
it.
gonna see Katie and MCM and whatever. So
Are you
know,
wait, are you leaving on Thursday?
I am leaving tomorrow.
Oh, you're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep. I am traveling tomorrow. We still have a few things to be done with the artworks, and then we are setting up on Thursday. So
Very exciting.
I have to be there for that. Set out the whole thing. So it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
Okay. Well, I'll say. Let me get my thing up so I can actually end the stream properly.
Okay.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
It's very much appreciated for everybody who stopped in.
We
Feel
love
free
you.
to share it on with other people. We like doing this sort of thing. We'll be back next week with something else. I don't know what we're talking about. We'll see.
We'll see.
We will see.
Probably MCM.
Yeah, probably. To be honest.
Yeah.
It'll probably be pictures of us with various people talking
Yeah.
about our experiences and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Indeed. Love you all.
All right.
Take care.
Bye, gang.
Find me at MCM. Bye.
Oh yes, I did put that in the description. Yeah, both of us are going to be there. Go find Lily at her booth and buy some stuff from her.
Oh, I can say that I'm going to be right next to catering. So
There you go.
easy
It's
peasy.
right next to the food.
Right next to the food. It's great.
And I will be there on Saturday. If you see me around, feel free to
Yes.
say hi. But Lily will be there the whole
Bye.
weekend.
I will be. Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Woohoo.
Okay, stream is finished.
Yay. This was fun.